Welcome to our deep dive today into the world of Islamic philosophy.
Sounds fascinating.
We're going to be meeting a thinker named Abu Nasr al-Farabi. He was a 10th century philosopher who's known as the second teacher.
Oh, wow.
Now that nickname.
The second teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Already sparks so many questions.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, who was the first teacher that makes him second?
Right.
And what makes Al-Farabi so influential that he earned a title like that?
Well, that's a great place to start. The first teacher is none other than Aristotle.
Okay.
And Al-Farabi's nickname really highlights his massive contributions to philosophy.
So,
He was considered the most important interpreter of Aristotle's works.
oh, wow.
Making those complex ideas accessible to a new audience in the Islamic Golden Age.
So we're talking about a time period
Yeah.
when ancient Greek texts were being translated into Arabic,
Right.
opening up this whole new realm of knowledge for Islamic scholars. It must have been incredibly exciting.
Oh, yeah. Imagine the intellectual energy
Yeah.
as these groundbreaking ideas from a different culture became available for exploration and debate
Yeah.
and integration with existing Islamic thought.
It's like discovering a treasure trove of wisdom.
Exactly.
But Al-Farabi went beyond
yeah.
just translation, right?
Yeah.
What set him apart from simply
He's
being
an innovator?
a great
He
translator?
took those Aristotelian concepts and expanded on them, applying them to Islamic thought across various fields: metaphysics, ethics, politics, logic, you name it.
Wow.
He saw philosophy as a practical tool for understanding the world around us,
Yeah.
the complexities of society, and even the very purpose of life.
He saw philosophy as more than just an academic exercise.
Right. So he took these ancient tools
Yeah.
and forged something new and relevant.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets even more interesting.
Yeah.
Al-Farabi believed that philosophy and religion weren't at odds, but were compatible paths to the same ultimate truth.
That's a bold claim.
Yeah.
How did he reconcile these seemingly different approaches?
Well, he argued that prophets and philosophers essentially have the same goal to guide us towards wisdom and understanding.
Okay.
And while prophets might use stories and revelation, philosophers use reason and logic.
Okay.
But ultimately, both paths lead us to a deeper understanding of the world and our place in it.
Okay.
This idea was groundbreaking,
Yeah.
and it had a huge impact on later Islamic thinkers.
So he built a bridge between these two powerful ways of knowing.
Yeah.
But Al-Farabi didn't just deal with abstract ideas, did he?
He didn't.
He also had a vision for an ideal society.
He did. In his famous book, The Virtuous City,
Okay.
inspired by Plato's Republic,
Okay.
Al-Farabi outlines his vision for a utopia
Okay.
led by a philosopher-king.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Didn't Plato also?
A wise ruler
Yeah.
who embodies knowledge, virtue, and a strong moral character.
Proposed that concept of a philosopher-king.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made Al-Farabi's vision unique?
Al-Farabi brilliantly connected this concept to the Islamic tradition.
Okay.
He argued that the ideal ruler possesses qualities similar to a prophet, suggesting a deep understanding of reality and universal truths.
Okay.
This philosopher-prophet figure
Okay.
would guide society toward enlightenment, using both philosophical wisdom and knowledge rooted in divine guidance.
So he's weaving together Greek political ideals with Islamic thought on leadership.
Creating something entirely new in the process.
Yeah, we're seeing this fascinating fusion of cultures happening through his work.
Absolutely.
But it wasn't just a simple copy and paste job, right?
No, not at all.
He wasn't just transplanting Greek ideas into an Islamic context.
No, Al-Farabi was adapting these ideas, making them relevant to the specific questions and concerns of Islamic thought.
So
his interpretations addressed issues central to Islamic theology, such as the nature of God, the origin of the universe, and the complex relationship between the material and the immaterial worlds.
he tackled some big questions.
Yeah.
Do we have any specific examples of how he approached these theological challenges?
Take, for example, the concept of the necessary existent,
Okay.
a core idea in Islamic philosophy. Al-Farabi's interpretation of Aristotle's ideas on causality
Okay.
helped pave the way for Islamic thinkers to formulate this concept,
Okay.
which was later developed further by Ibn Sina, another influential figure.
So we see this ripple effect. Right?
Exactly.
His work
Yeah.
not only influenced his own time,
Yeah.
but also generations of thinkers who came after him.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't just limited to metaphysics, was it?
You're right, it wasn't. Al-Farabi made significant contributions to the field of logic.
Okay.
He believed that logic was a powerful tool for clear thinking and effective communication, crucial for both individual understanding and for creating a just and harmonious society.
So logic wasn't just about winning arguments.
It was about creating a better world.
But about creating a better world.
Yeah.
That's an inspiring perspective.
It is.
His vision reminds me of his concept of the philosopher-king leading a virtuous city.
Right.
That idea that knowledge and wisdom should be at the very heart of governance.
Should be at the heart of governance, exactly.
Al-Farabi's legacy is built on this belief
the legacy is built
that knowledge can be a transformative force.
On that idea that knowledge can be a
transformative force.
And for society as a whole.
For individuals and for society as a whole. And that's just the beginning of our deep dive into the world of Al-Farabi. We've got much more to explore in part 2, so be sure to join us again.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Welcome back to our exploration of Al-Farabi's philosophical world.
It's incredible to see how he blended Greek thought with the Islamic worldview.
It is.
But I'm curious how he navigated potential points of conflict between these different traditions. Were there any areas where those ideas clashed?
That's a great question. Remember, Al-Farabi wasn't just copying Greek ideas. He was interpreting them through an Islamic lens, carefully adapting them to fit within the framework of Islamic thought.
So it was more of a dialogue
Right.
between different intellectual traditions,
Yeah.
finding common ground and building bridges between them.
Exactly. One striking example is how Al-Farabi approached the concept of emanation, which was a key idea in Neoplatonic philosophy.
I'm not familiar with Neoplatonism.
Oh, okay. So Neoplatonism...
Could you explain that a bit?
Yeah. So Neoplatonism was a school of thought that emerged in the 3rd century A.D.
Okay.
It drew from the ideas of the Greek philosopher Plato, but also incorporated elements from other philosophical and religious traditions.
Right.
One of the central ideas of Neoplatonism was emanation.
Okay.
The idea that all of reality flows from a single divine source.
So it's about tracing everything back to a divine origin.
Yeah, exactly. How did Al-Farabi reconcile this concept with Islamic beliefs?
Yeah, how did he bring those two together?
Well, imagine a series of overflowing cups.
Okay.
Each cup represents a level of existence that comes from the one before it. The first and purest emanation is the one or God.
Okay.
And everything else in the universe emanates from this source.
So essentially everything flows from God.
Al-Farabi ingeniously integrated this concept of emanation with the Islamic belief in God as the sole creator.
Okay.
He proposed that God's act of creation is a continuous process of emanation, with each level of existence flowing forth from God's will and knowledge.
He found a way to bridge that conceptual gap.
Exactly.
Making this idea from Greek philosophy compatible with the Islamic worldview.
It's a prime example of how Al-Farabi acted as a bridge builder, showing that philosophical exploration could be both rigorous and faithful to religious principles.
His ability to synthesize these different systems of thought is remarkable.
It is.
But his contributions go beyond just reconciling ideas, right?
Right.
He also developed his own comprehensive philosophical system.
Yes, he did. Al-Farabi's philosophical system was vast, encompassing not only metaphysics and theology, but also ethics, politics, and even music theory.
Music theory. Yeah. That's intriguing. What did he see as the connection between music and philosophy?
Al-Farabi believed that music could be a powerful tool for understanding the harmony of the universe. He saw musical intervals and ratios as reflections of the mathematical principles that govern the cosmos.
So music was a way to experience and understand the underlying order of creation.
That's a great way to put it. For Al-Farabi, music wasn't just a form of entertainment. It was a path to knowledge and spiritual insight.
Okay.
His philosophical vision encompassed both the rational and the aesthetic. Seeing beauty and order as intertwined.
It's clear that Al-Farabi was a truly multifaceted thinker.
He was.
Can you tell us more about the core components of this vast philosophical system he built?
At the heart of his system was the concept of the active intellect.
The active intellect, what is that exactly?
Think of the active intellect as a universal mind or cosmic intelligence that connects all individual minds. It's the source of pure knowledge and understanding, and through our connection to the active intellect, we can access true wisdom.
So it's like a universal source of knowledge that we can tap into.
That's a great way to think about it. Al-Farabi believed that by cultivating our intellectual faculties and striving for moral excellence, we can strengthen our connection to the active intellect and gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the universe.
This concept suggests that knowledge isn't just something we passively receive.
Right.
It's something we actively participate in.
Exactly.
We're part of this dynamic relationship between our individual minds and this universal source of wisdom.
Precisely. And this concept of the active intellect had a profound impact on later Islamic philosophers, such as Ibn Sina and Ibn Rushd, who built upon Al-Farabi's ideas and developed their own complex theories of knowledge in the human mind.
So his work launched a rich intellectual tradition influencing generations of thinkers.
It did.
It's fascinating to see how these ideas were passed down and further developed.
Yeah.
I'm curious, though, how were Al-Farabi's ideas received in his own time?
That's a question that scholars are still debating. We know that Al-Farabi was highly respected as a scholar and a teacher, but his ideas were undoubtedly challenging for some.
So his attempts to synthesize Greek philosophy and Islamic thought may have been controversial for some.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. Some scholars might have been skeptical of integrating Greek philosophy so deeply into Islamic thought. However, even those who might have disagreed with him recognize his brilliance and the depth of his scholarship.
His work clearly sparked lively intellectual debates.
Absolutely.
Pushing the boundaries of philosophical inquiry.
Al-Farabi was a pioneer shaping the course of intellectual history, and his legacy extends far beyond his own time. In the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore the lasting impact of his ideas, both within the Islamic world and beyond.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the legacy of Al-Farabi. We've explored his role as the second teacher. His unique synthesis of Greek and Islamic thought. And the key elements of his philosophical system.
Al-Farabi's contributions to philosophy are truly remarkable. But what stands out to me is his enduring belief in the power of knowledge and reason to shape a better world.
That seems to be a recurring theme in his work.
The
idea that knowledge is not just for intellectual pursuits, but for creating a more just and harmonious society.
Exactly. Al-Farabi believed that knowledge had a moral dimension. It wasn't just about accumulating facts. It was about applying that knowledge to guide our actions and build a better future.
This idea resonates with his vision of the philosopher-king leading the virtuous city.
It does.
It's not enough for a leader to simply possess knowledge.
They
must also have strong moral character. And use their wisdom for the good of the people.
That's right. Al-Farabi envisioned a society where knowledge and virtue were intertwined, where leaders were guided by wisdom and a deep understanding of ethical principles.
His vision feels incredibly relevant today. When we see so much division and conflict in the world, it makes you wonder how things might be different if more leaders embraced this philosophy of knowledge as a force for good.
Al-Farabi's ideas challenge us to think about the role of knowledge in our own lives. How can we use our knowledge to contribute to a more just and compassionate world? What can we learn from his emphasis on reason and virtue as essential qualities for leadership?
Those are questions we should all be reflecting on.
We should.
It seems that Al-Farabi's legacy offers us a framework for thinking about these challenges and for striving to build a better future.
It does. His work reminds us that knowledge has the power to bridge cultural divides, promote understanding, and inspire us to work towards a more enlightened world. It's a journey that requires continuous effort, building upon the insights of those who came before us and carrying that torch forward.
What a powerful reminder of the enduring impact of ideas and the importance of seeking knowledge, not just for ourselves, for the betterment of humanity.
Exactly.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Al-Farabi.
It's been a pleasure exploring his remarkable legacy with you.
And to all our listeners out there, keep seeking knowledge and keep asking questions.
Keep the conversation going,